All right, we're live. Boom! Out of the night that covers me, black as the pit from pole to pole, I thank whatever gods may be for my unconquerable soul. Sitting here with this brother, and, I'm thinking, I'm like, damn, I think I've seen this dude before. I don't know if I've seen him in person many years back, and it turns out, during my process, I had taken a long road trip to Georgia from Pennsylvania, and this brother at the time was newly crossed, and he sent me a picture that just took me way back, man. A picture that, y'all not going to see it, but it's a classic photo. It's a classic photo, and it just brings me back to my process, and I think it's always good when you can reminisce about brothers, about your process, about the memories of the process. It's tough when you're going through it, but when it's over, that shared experience, that common bond is truly something special. So thank you for the picture, my brother. I appreciate you, and thank you for coming on the show. Take a second to introduce yourself. What's your name? What chapter are you from? And when did you cross?
I am Joe Coleman. I crossed in spring 2010 from the Elysium chapter. I'm the founder, one of three, actually.
So one of three. Where's Elysium at?
Elysium is at Georgia College and State University in Milledgeville, Georgia.
So you was a founding brother of Elysium?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I got you. We're gonna go into that. I want to know what that experience was like as a founding brother. Kind of creating a foundation at that school. Has the chapter expanded since then?
Unfortunately, sad to say that the chapter's dead right now.
Okay, I got you. Same with so many other chapters. You know what I mean? But you and your two line brothers have, that connection that I'm sure y'all gonna share. Was that them in the picture that you sent me? Y'all three?
Yes.
Ah, that's funny, bro. Shout out to your line brothers. Shout them out. What are their names? I don't even know their names.
Javi and Camilo.
Actually, I do remember the name Camilo. I remember the name Camilo from that trip.
Yo, actually, I remember. Oh, my God. Was it y'all? Was it y'all that couldn't pronounce Javi's name? I think so.
Maybe.
I think it was your line brother that couldn't pronounce Javi's name.
Maybe. I got to hit him up. We got to fact check this. We got to fact check this.
God.
Yo, crazy, bro. Yeah. Crazy memories. So I got Joe Coleman. Welcome to the show, bro. Thank you for joining me tonight. Appreciate you. After some
opportunity.
No doubt, bro. No doubt. After some rescheduling, things like that, we got it done. So you know the format, bro. This just serves to give brothers in the viewership a glimpse into, the members of our organization, kind of give them a little game into, all the different brothers that we have from all walks of life. And, the fact that most of the brothers that I've had on already come from my region.
Have been great, by the way.
Say it again.
I said they've been great, by the way.
Thank you, bro. I appreciate it. You a little further down south, so you come from a different experience, a different background altogether. I want to know about it, so let's get right into it, bro. Who are you? What was your upbringing as a child? Where did you come from? Where did your family come from? And kind of, talk about your upbringing here.
Okay, so first and foremost, I guess I am Honduran, born in Honduras, raised for some time in Honduras. So I was born in Honduras, came to the United States at the age of 2. From age 2, we went to New York. I guess where my immigrant experience starts, it starts in New York. And that's kind of where, okay, so like usually when people ask the question where I'm from, it's a little bit hard to answer that question now because it's like Honduras, New York, and now presently Atlanta. But yeah, so from New York, spent a good majority of my time there, spent some time in Honduras, did some back and forth studying for school. After that, back to New York again. This was, oh shit, I feel like I'm burning through this a little bit quick, but I guess the point is more maybe to dig into my personal time into these, I guess, formative years. Is that right?
Yeah, no doubt, of course.
Okay.
Or however you want to spin it, whatever your truth is, bro. Like you said, so you was born in Honduras and you came here when you were 2. Have you had conversations with your family on why they decided to come over here? Did you have siblings?
Yes. Okay, so eldest of 4, which shout out to my siblings. I fucking love those motherfuckers. So single mom for much of her life with 4 kids. That's I gotta say something that I've witnessed and something that I find incredibly strong and has impacted me in so many various different ways. Shout out to my mom, dog.
Shout out to your mom, bro.
Mom.
Shout out to your beautiful mother, man.
So Honduras, United States, and that experience at the young age of 2. From there, I think the earliest memory I have from Honduras is the beach and running from the beach into my mom's arms, maybe, or something like that, or running to one of my family members' arms. But
yeah,
the beach, and then I guess the earliest memory of New York comes with my aunt's house on Bushwick Avenue.
shout out to Brooklyn.
Bushwick Avenue. Gilberto's house, yeah. So yeah, that's where we stayed when we came to New York.
Did your mom come over here knowing that, you know, she had family already here?
Yeah, so I guess we're first generation. No, we're immigrants. Technically, we're immigrants. My mom, my brother, and myself. And we did have, I guess, started plant roots here. So I guess in comparison to like Randy's immigrant experience as a Honduran as well.
Shout out to my brother Randy.
Yes, Randy. One of the few Hondurans in this lovely organization. Yeah. So if I remember correctly, his parents came here together, and I think they were the first of their, I guess, family to arrive here. We had kind of like a few, I guess, other people here prior. So that's kind of like, I guess, other family here, and that's kind of how we got here. Like my grandma was here, some of my tias were here, and I think some of my uncles were here. So I think by that's kind of how we got here and got on Bushwick Avenue.
Okay.
Gilberto had a house. So yeah, so blessed in that sense. But it was an interesting transition to, I guess, learning American culture and customs.
Yeah, you know, and that seems to be a common theme as I'm doing this. You know what I mean? Like, you're episode 5, and I think either 3 or 4 out of 5 episodes have been the immigrant experience. I think maybe all of them, really, but have been this immigrant experience. And I'm just like, damn, you know, this is crazy. And now I'm just interested in understanding, because I don't have that immigrant experience. I'm born and raised New York.
Really?
I'm born and raised New York.
Wow.
Born and raised.
Okay. Okay.
So I'm just very curious as to how, you know, it was for y'all, you know, acclimating to, you know, this American way of life, you know, coming from a different land, coming from a different place that vibrates on a different frequency. You know what I'm saying? You know, so if you could speak on that a little bit into what you remember about acclimating. You were very young, so I don't know if you remember a lot, but, you know.
I remember going to school. I remember I was always pretty decent or pretty good at school from a very young age. I remember being very shy. I remember
was it like,
I guess I'm thinking is I didn't have maybe I just don't remember, but I feel like I don't remember interacting a lot in those years early on. I gotta remember. Fuck.
So I mean, so let's take a step back, right? So like the situation that y'all found yourselves in when y'all got here was you, your mother, and your siblings. The situation that you found yourself in was you, your mother, and your siblings with family members.
Mm-hmm.
So it was many of you guys in a home.
In one room.
In one room.
One room.
So y'all really went through it.
Oh shit! I do know my earliest memory. My earliest memory of coming to New York, and it was swallowing Clorox and having to be rushed to the emergency room, and then I had a hernia.
Because of that?
I think so. Either something related to that.
Wow.
Fucking hernia. Yeah, hernia.
I had a friend in high school who the same thing happened to him. He had to get surgery to get that fixed and patched up too. So, I mean, it's crazy that you survived that, even as a little boy.
At age 2, yeah.
Age 2.
That was it.
Wow, bro. That's crazy, man. So you come over here. I mean, at that young age, were you aware of, the hardships that your family was kind of going through, or were things happy in the house? Were things like tight and tense? What was your experience with that?
I just remember my mom being single, and having to do that and just fucking having to provide.
Yeah.
I remember that is very vivid. And fortunately, being in a space with family where family was close and where we could, I guess, have a support system for a single mom, that made it, I guess, somewhat better,
No doubt.
It was great to see my aunts and uncles and cousins, and that was really, I guess, great, I fucking love my cousins, man. There's some dope ass motherfuckers. All of them are doing dope shit, dog. All of them.
Shout out to your cousins, bro. Shout out to your cousins.
Oh man, yes.
I know what it's like to have, family that grows up with you, that you're very close with and very tight with. I got a cousin who I consider my brother, and that's been my brother since we were babies, bro. And to this day, that it's my brother. So I know the joy that comes with having family that you watch each other grow and develop and do things in life. That's a beautiful thing, man. It's valuable,
And
so what were you like as a kid, bro? Like after 2 years old, you start getting into 3, 4, 5, 6, like 7. What were you into? What you in Brooklyn, New York? What were you into?
I am in New York. I'm in Brooklyn, New York. I remember. Okay, so, okay. Let me think. First grade, don't remember. Second grade, I was actually back in Honduras. I went back to Honduras for second grade.
Okay, got you. For the whole year?
For the whole year, I want to say a good year and a half.
But did your mom go back? She made the choice to go back to Honduras?
No, my mom did this crazy, smart, slick ass thing. Shout out to my mom for this, dog. So
shout out to your mama.
All right, so my mom, worked her ass off to send us to private school because we grew up in New York, and shout out to your experience in the New York. I don't know if public school system, is that correct?
Public school my whole life, except for college.
So shout out to you in that experience. But for us, I guess my mom didn't want that, and so for that reason, she busted her ass to send us to private school, mostly like religious school, Seventh-day Adventist Catholic school.
Yep.
And she was slick as fuck, and shout out to my mom, because I'm putting things into perspective now that my mom is letting me just sharing so much, and just like we're connecting on another level right now, because she's living her best life, and anyways. So I'm learning some things about her, and I'm realizing that when she'd send us to Honduras intermittently, and I'm realizing that she did it for one, because we could go to school out there for cheaper, and we still had the private school education or whatever, and she had a dope ass little break from us too. So she would send me and my little brother out there for a good year and a half at a time. Shout out to my mom for that. Yeah, so
so you was back and forth from the States though.
Yeah, dog.
It's not like you never went back.
No, I was living out there, dog.
Okay, all right. See, so that's interesting, because in the past interviews that I've done and other people that I've spoken to, they come and don't go back until they're adults, where they're able to autonomously go back. They can pay for their own ticket and everything like that. But so you got the experience of going back. So you wasn't totally disconnected from your motherland.
Nah, man. Whew, it's a beautiful thing.
That's a blessing, bro.
It is beautiful. Oh, man. And I just went back this year after being gone for 16 years.
16. Wow. How is it, man? How was it being back? How was it
So,
revisiting your motherland? Like, talk a little bit about, culture and that cultural connection. Did you feel connected back when you went back, or was there a acculturation period that you had to go to? What was that experience like for you?
in that regard, yes, it was a little bit of a adjustment just to a lot of things. Myself, I think I had to do a lot of acknowledgments within myself, to recognize that I am not there anymore, as in my life is not there, um, and that was a little bit I don't want to say hard, but it was just like something that I was like, all right, well, shit, this is something I'm aware of, something I'm conscious of. Like, damn, I'm not the same person that left this island 16 years ago. Um, like, and these aren't the same people, same places, but this is great. This is still fucking home. That's what I fucking love about it. But yeah, it was, oh man, too long, I gotta say, but yeah, it was a great trip, and so good to see so many people.
Good for you, bro.
And to yeah, be in their presence. Oh my goodness.
Good for you, man. Good for you. It's good to connect,
Yeah.
man. Listen, I'm Boricua, but I haven't been to the island. Last time I've been to the island was 2014, but then even then it was just a touch and go because it was a cruise. But I haven't been to the island to stay and be among the people since I graduated high school. This is 11 years ago already. So it's been 11 years for me since I've been over there, and it's important to go back to connect. I plan on it. It's going to happen sooner or later to go back and connect to the roots. But at the very least, you got that experience. So that's a good thing. You know what I'm saying?
It's beautiful.
Yeah, bro.
Beautiful.
Yeah, bro. So you back and forth from Honduras. You coming back and forth. Your mother's shipping you out. She's bringing you back. She's shipping you out, bringing you back. So, like, talk about your school experience there growing up. Actually, you have the dual school experience. You going to school over there and over here. Can you speak on the differences between the education systems here and there? From what you recall.
Okay, so one thing I'll know about out there. So the biggest thing is uniforms. I do know that uniforms, I guess, I don't know how prevalent they are now, but that's how you go to school. And depending on it was this weird thing. It was this weird sectioning off kind of thing. Like, I don't know if it was intentional, but every school had different color uniforms. And the public schools had blue pants. I want to say dark blue pants. Our school had burgundy pants. Some of the, I guess what they would call quote unquote prestigious universities or schools had like different color pants too. And now looking back on it, I'm wondering if that was like a very intentional thing. Like, it obviously was intentional, but it was a very, like, I don't know. But obviously, I say that to say that our school, the school that we went to, was kind of known as kind of like one of the best in the area. And I'm wondering, like, whenever they saw our burgundy pants, like, they kind of knew that, like, kind of, it's like
like that was a symbol. Like that was a symbol for the status.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, like a status hierarchy kind of thing. Like a
I got
weird,
you.
Yeah.
I got you.
You know what I mean? Like, I'm looking back on it now, like, oh yeah, like the pants colors, and yeah, you'd recognize people from different pants in different schools and be like, oh shit. Oh.
And then, so like, I'm curious because our brother Jorge spoke on, the education system in Colombia from what he remembers. And he, kind of painted that picture of just rote memorization, military style, rote, day in, day out routine, drill and kill kind of thing. Was it the same for you in Honduras from what you recall, or was it a little different? Was it loose? Was it, what was the focus of education there?
I will say I went to a bilingual school. So with that, we had classes in Spanish and English. And for myself, this is kind of where I learned Spanish. I learned Spanish through school, so it's my second language. And for me, I guess it was, I didn't realize it was quite a struggle until I got back in 7th grade, back out there. But yeah, from what I remember, the first time I was out there was, yes, a lot of rote memorization, filling notebooks up. Oh my fucking God. Like, I remember, I remember coming home and crying because of the amount of homework I had to do.
Bro,
just thinking about it.
That experience is not unique to over there, bro. That experience is shit. I remember coming home. Oh, I had a 3rd grade teacher named Ms. Woods. Shout out to Ms. Woods, man. She did what she calls spelling contracts, bro. And it was like a 12-page packet of vocabulary words, and we had to alphabetize them, spell them correctly, use them in a sentence, give the definitions, da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I remember so many times being like, I don't want to do this, yo. This is the worst. This is the worst. So I feel you, bro. I feel you.
Yes.
And I have a lot of empathy, right? Because I'm a teacher now. So now I'm on the other side of the table.
Shout out to you for that, dog.
Thank you, bro.
Shout out to being a fucking educator. Yes.
Educator, no doubt.
Thank you, dog.
No doubt. I appreciate that, bro. So, I got empathy because I be trying to balance how I felt dealing with homework with what I give my students now. You know what I mean? So it's just funny the way life turns out, man. It's just funny like that. All right, so you coming up, is there a period of time where you come back to the States like for a good stretch where you're not back in Honduras?
That's correct.
All right, what point is that?
This is, I want to say, 3rd through 6th grade, 3rd through 5th grade, 6th grade. All right, so 3rd grade, yeah, 3rd grade.
All right, so your elementary school years, you're here, straight up. And then what were those, what were those years like for you? You went to school here in New York, right? Private school still, though. Was it a struggle for you because you was coming from that environment too, or did you get along pretty smoothly? I could tell you have like a sensitive soul, bro. You know what I'm saying? And like the reason why I ask is because I can read. I'm usually pretty okay at reading people, and I know sensitive souls tend to have more of a difficult time in school because it's not a lot of sensitive souls in school, bro. A lot of our students don't come from loving households, which manifests in them as self-hate, which manifests in them as this need to be outwardly aggressive toward, their peers and people around them. It's not their fault. They're a product of their home environment. I can tell you come from that loves you. You received love.
Yes, I will say that. Yes.
So what was schooling like here for you in elementary?
Okay, so 3rd grade was at Brooklyn Temple, which is a 7-day Adventist school. And oh shit, fun fact about that, right around the corner from Brooklyn Temple was the place where they shot the murder scene in Ghost, the movie. Myrtle Avenue.
I've never seen Ghost. Never seen Ghost.
Bro, how old are you?
I'm pushing 30.
Okay, so we're the same age. How have you never seen Ghost?
I don't know. Never seen it. But it's a movie shot in Brooklyn. I'm putting a note to my phone right now.
All right. So yeah. Fun fact about that Brooklyn Temple. So I went to school there. That was a pretty fucking interesting experience. I'm pretty sure they were beating kids there when they wasn't supposed to.
Like beating like old school nuns with the ruler type thing? God damn.
Yeah.
Yo, what do you think about that, bro? Just as like a concept, as far as like
corporal punishment.
Corporal punishment as but like when you use that, right? It has such a damn negative connotation, right? I'm talking about like discipline in the form of you might need to get a little slap on the wrist. I don't know.
So for me, that's the environment I came up in. Fortunately, I guess I was responsive to the method of discipline. Because when I got hit, I didn't want to be hit no more. So I was like, no, fuck that.
I got you.
Yeah. So I'm like,
a little bit of trauma.
Yeah. And the worst part is, shout out to my fucking siblings, but all the ass whoopings I took for y'all, son.
Oh man, us as line brothers can relate. Us brothers that have line brothers.
Yes. Oh, shout out to them line brothers too. Oh my God, being
Yeah, shout out to your LBs, bro.
yes.
Tag them in the video. Make them watch, God damn it. We're going to get to that in a minute, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, so, you know, how was all of that? So they were beating kids in the school. They wasn't necessarily supposed to. Was that something that you saw and you was like, all right, let me get in line, or you was a troublemaker? What kind of kid were you?
I was, like I said, I was very shy growing up, very quiet, meek is, I would say, the best description. And therefore kind of just did what I had to do. Don't remember interacting very much with a lot of individuals. I guess, at the time, to my detriment, because I wouldn't say I was picked on, but I was left alone. And then it was very rare that I would connect with individuals. I guess it wasn't until the earliest moment I remember having a best friend was Paul Figueroa, 4th grade.
Shout out to
Public
Paulie.
System, PS16 in Williamsburg, New York. Shout out PS16. Shout out Miss McGarrigle. Shout out Paul Figueroa.
You always remember the teachers, right? You always remember the teachers that held you down. And that's been a common theme too.
Yes.
Teachers,
yes, I've noticed
right?
that. I've noticed that. Like, yes, the people that just, the adults that care.
Yeah, bro. It's real, man.
That care.
What did she do for you,
Shout
bro?
out to those motherfuckers.
What did she do for you that motivated you to be like, let me shout her out? That's interesting to me.
Oh my God. She enabled me, or she, I guess,
she saw that light in you?
Saw, in a sense, and she, I guess, put me in spaces that I would succeed, spaces and places that I would succeed. But she would also be very, not so much strict, but very, have expectations of me. To know, she knew that I could always do better, essentially. I think I remember a very, very early memory of public schools PS16. And this was, so I don't know if this is still the case now, which I think it's a shitty practice. Let me start off by saying that, but they put me in a, I guess, lower tier class.
Yeah.
When I first got there, because didn't have very many school records. That's another thing. We didn't do a very, very good job of keeping records in our immigrant experience, which is very, so due to that, they put me in the, I guess, the lower tier 4th grade class. So from that, then I tested out of it. But I do remember, oh man, I remember a lot of angry kids. This is sad. 4th grade. So much anger that this kid just wanted to fight me for no fucking reason.
Yeah.
Like, bro, like, yeah, so that's one.
It's always whack when you're on the receiving end of it. And, you know, because I had my run-ins. I had my run-ins with getting picked on and everything like that in school too. But it's always whack when you're on the receiving end of it. But then, you know, you're able to look at it so many years later and look back and just try to deploy as much empathy as possible against it, bro. Because it's not their fault, bro. Children are pure, bro. Man. Children are pure.
Yes.
Children are pure, bro. It's the environment that they come up in, the traumas that they face that mold them to be this shell, man. This shell. And it's unfortunate. I see it every day, bro. I see it every single day.
Yeah. Shout out to you again. Because, I can only imagine.
Yeah, man. So you going through this experience and everything like that. Was it the kind of elementary school that stopped at 6th grade and then you go into middle school from there? Because I know some middle schools in New York are 6, 7, 8, and others are just 7 and 8.
Yeah, I believe so. I think it went up to 6th grade, if I remember correctly. I remember whatever grade it was, the girls were just hotter, I guess, for being older girls. So I do remember that was maybe about 6th grade. So yeah, I remember.
Shout out to the ladies. Shout out to the ladies. You know, like, bro, growing up in school with these girls, man, it was so funny, man. It was like, it was crazy, bro. What do you think about like all male or all female schools as opposed to like co-education? I think there's definitely benefits to having like all young men in the classroom. You know, as far as eliminating distraction and keeping the focus on the discipline and you know the work. What are your thoughts on that? Just something that popped into my head.
I feel like if it's necessary for those individuals to do that, please do so. I think though, for I don't know, better outcomes as far as, because ultimately they're not going to be in school for the rest of their life, and so ultimately to function in society, they would need to be surrounded by society or what society looks like, and that's why I think, yeah, if it's necessary to separate yourself from distractions, please do so by all means.
Got you.
And then hopefully, you know, come back and do better and be better if it works.
Okay, got you. Yeah, curious. So where'd you go for middle school?
Okay, so 4th grade was Miss McGarrigle. 5th grade was Catholic school. Catholic school, not as strict as the other school I was talking about, so that's weird. Which
one would think the opposite, right?
Right. So that was dope. That was honestly one of the first places that I stayed in school for 2 years. At this time, I'm also moving around a lot. So we're moving around. If you haven't noticed, I've gone to like 4 or 5 different schools at this point.
Yeah, you're all over, bro. And at this point, are you still living at your aunt's?
No, we're moving around Brooklyn.
Okay, I got you.
Around. Also, the family's growing. So at this point, it's me, my brother, I think. Okay, Damien was born when we.
So y'all
okay, Damien was born.
Way, like, you know, your family was just growing in numbers as you were moving around. Yo, bro, like, and this is something that I spoke to the other brothers about too. Like, I also don't have the experience of moving around. I lived in the one apartment with my mother, my father, and my sister for my whole life, in college, a couple years after college, and then I moved out.
That's a wild experience. I can't imagine.
Right.
That.
It's just crazy, right?
I can imagine. And like, I guess the biggest thing I can think of is a fucking address to put down, dog. A fucking address to put down. Think about that. Like, I never had a consistent address to put down.
Yeah. And that's why I asked.
The simple things. Yes.
Did you ever have any thoughts or feelings that you can recall of like, yo, why the fuck are we moving around so much? What is going on? Or was that just reality for you? Or something in the middle or something else. You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm just curious to understand the psyche of a young man that's going through this.
I think we were moving around for a lot of reasons. One, I remember. My stepfather was in and out of the picture kind of a lot. So that's kind of what made my mom a single parent mostly. And kind of whenever he would come around, I guess we would tend to move in a sense. So that I remember there was one time where he just wanted to up and leave to Miami. You know, thought New York was too cold, so we just up and left to Miami. And at this point, I think, well, I'm letting you into a little bit into my life, which I feel, you know, kind of comfortable doing right now. But it was a very physically abusive relationship.
Between you and your step-pops?
And no, between my stepfather and my mom. And he was abusive in that regard.
Were you there to witness?
Unfortunately. And through that experience, I think there was I guess I grew up in an environment of fear. There's a lot of fear in my home. I will say that. But I guess where we're going with the question again? Sorry.
Well, I mean, I was just asking about the experience of moving back and forth. Like, you know, you
Oh, okay.
the
Why we're
psyche
moving back
of
and forth?
moving around so much. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I want to follow up on your stepfather as well, because there are, you know, a
There's
lot
healing
of
I've been done on that too, so that's kind of why I feel why I feel comfortable talking about it, because I've done some healing in that regard in that area too.
yeah. So let's deal with that, bro. Because that's where my spirit is moving right now. You say you've done some healing in that regard. You know what I mean? What did you need to heal from?
Kind of honestly, what it was is just like not necessarily absolving myself of blame, but recognizing that there was not much I could do in the situation. There's not much that I should have done. You know, there's not there. I shouldn't have had to do anything.
Did you feel that pressure at the time? Like, yo, I should be, or like, did you live with that thereafter? You know, I'm just, you know, I'm very curious as to the development of this kind of psychology over time, especially because you witnessed it from young.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to say it was external pressure. I think I witnessed it and I knew it was bad and I knew it was wrong and I knew that it shouldn't be occurring. And for that reason, I guess I was always like, how can this not happen? You know? And when it happened, it's just, yeah, it was just a unpleasant experience. And what
kind of steps, you know, have you taken in your adult life in order to confront this? Because in the last episode with
therapy.
So perfect. So, you know, let's get into that a little bit, because in my last episode, the episode before, you know, we've spoken a lot about confronting these demons in order to slay them. And this seems to be a common trend. And I'm so grateful that y'all are so willing to open up and put these experiences out there, you know, because there's brothers that need to heal. There's current brothers that need to heal, but they caught up, you know, like I said in the last episode, they're caught up in the macho, you know, I'm good, you know.
Yeah, we need to get over that shit so fucking bad. So
what has the therapy experience been like for you, bro? I'm sure it's been painful.
Oh yeah, definitely. Bro, a lot of shit, dog. Like just talking about shit, just unpacking shit and just like, okay, it's like kind of like taking a look back on your entire timeline and kind of like almost, well, you don't have to do this, but in certain areas, look at these experiences under quote unquote microscope, under a microscope, and I guess recognize the impact that these moments have had on your life and how they've gotten you to where you are now, and then understand or question, maybe not even question, but I guess ask yourself if where you are now is a good thing because of these experiences, or what do you want to do? You know, just asking yourself internal questions really is kind of what therapy's been for me.
No, but it'd be like, because this sounds like sort of what you're describing is what I've personally been doing, but on myself. Because I still ain't rocking with the therapy idea. Like, I get it. Do it. You know what I'm saying? Do it. I just, you know, I feel like if I could heal myself, if I could find, you know, if I could be my own therapist and heal myself from within, you know, I'm untouchable after that. And that's what I strive for. You know, to each his own. It's all good. Some people need that objective third party that doesn't know you.
I feel like I need to voice it, like hear it out loud. And I feel like I need to get these ideas out of my head into the fucking voice. And I feel like because I feel like I just need a person to say that to. I don't know. It's just because if no one's around, I'm gonna just say it in my head, you know?
Yeah.
And I just need to get these fucking ideas out. You know,
yeah.
That's just.
I mean, I get them out. I get the poison out through writing. That's my medium. You through my writing and my poetry. You know what I'm saying? I get vulnerable in the writing, get vulnerable in poem. I do that shit in front of an audience and moving on. You know what I mean?
Shit. Yo, if you ever come to Atlanta, dog, this is dope ass little poetry shop. It does open mic. It does slam.
I'm there.
I would love to take you
there.
That's
all me, bro. That's all me. I'm in there.
Yes.
We're going to do an ATL trip, and we're going to do another interview in ATL live and direct on camera. The follow-up, the part 2.
You got a place to stay, dog.
Love it. I love it. See,
house. I got space.
But let me tell you something. And, for those that, for maybe prospective members that may be watching, if you're watching this in a room in Salsa, if you just came across this, you a high school senior, and you like,
I hope so.
Fraternity, like, this is what we're talking about. I don't know this brother. I met him once.
Outside of one experience.
And this was pushing 10 years ago. And here we are having a deep conversation. This is what we're talking about. Like, this is why I'm so hype about, setting up this little camera and this microphone and just having conversations with these brothers. This brother has a place to stay should he ever come to the Bronx. I got a place to stay should I ever come to Atlanta. And it's just as simple as that, just on the shared experience of both being members of the organization and having a common bond as far as the process goes. Now, is this true for all brothers? No.
Can't say no.
No. But you find who you click with. You attract who you are, bro. You vibrate at a certain frequency, and that magnetism brings in like-minded frequencies and individuals. So I appreciate you opening your doors to me, bro. My doors are open to you as well. Gotcha. I don't know this brother, but it's all good. It's love regardless. So what you're saying is very real, bro, about, being able to get these thoughts out, being able to voice these things, being able to, heal, bro. Healing is just, healing is the mission. You know what I'm saying? Would you say that you're fully healed right now? Do you strive to be, where are you right now in your path to be a complete man, bro?
Will I ever be a complete man? I think that's the question. But where am I presently?
That question was posed to me recently. And the question was, do you feel that anybody could ever be complete? Like really be complete on their own? I think so. I personally think so.
The only way I think one can be complete is once they've completed their life. Like, I think there's no, and this might be hippie Joe talking right now, but I think, I think it's an everlasting process of learning, of growth.
Agree.
Development.
Yeah.
And therefore, you will never be complete. You'll never be your full self. You're always going to acquire more knowledge and more input from your surroundings, and therefore that has an impression on you. And that is, if we're talking in video game terms or like internet terms.
Yo, shout out to my brothers that game. Yo, if any brothers are listening to this and y'all play Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, come get this work. God damn it.
They were just playing Super Smash in the other room.
Come on, man. But yeah, go ahead, bro.
But yeah, it's like in terms of like this download bar or this experience bar, it's always growing. And therefore, that bar will never be complete. So that's kind of my answer to that question.
I got you. It's a good way to look at it, man. It is a ongoing, continuous process of growth, learning, and development. And my pops used to tell me, trying to get the exact words. I might be paraphrasing a little bit, but something to the effect of your education doesn't stop once school finishes. Something to that effect. He had something to that effect printed out and on the wall. And, I remember that for sure. You know what I mean? So let's snap back to you, bro. So high school, where do you end up in high school? And how was the high school experience for you? Because high school, now as young men, starting to get a little bigger. We starting to, voice starts to drop a little more. We start to be aware of different things. You know what I mean? A lot of changes.
Yeah.
What was that like for you?
High school was also private school. High school, for the first 2 years, I was in a Seventh-day Adventist school, in Queens, New York, Woodside. Shout out Greater New York
Shout out.
Academy. I wonder if they're still existing, but yeah. So high school was actually, my voice was not dropping, not at all, not even in the least bit. So it was in high school where I would answer, and or where I would call my friends and their moms would answer and say, "Hey, there's a girl on the phone."
Oh shit! Oh, that's funny, bro.
Yo, and I remember, I was like, "Oh fuck!" I was like, "Oh man!" This whole time, also, remember, I'm still relatively meek. I'd say I've broken out of my shell a little bit. So high school is kind of where I'm starting to make more friends, or at least people that I can call on the phone and play video games with.
Yeah.
So yeah, some of the best people. And yeah, so high school happens. My voice isn't very high. I am again still very good at school.
Were you athletic, bro, or you was just like book-minded?
I don't want to say athletic. I mean, I could stand where people told me to stand in basketball.
I got you.
I wouldn't say I would say now I'm athletic. Now I am more in tune with my body in that sense. So, all right, high school, back to high school. Yeah, so book smart, no luck at all with women or the ladies, young women at this point.
Okay.
And very nerdy in the sense of, oh man, this is kind of where, oh shit, this is kind of where I've recognized or developed my passion or intrigue with the internet and in the intrigue with computers, and what's kind of led me down to the field and to the position that I am in today as a developer implementation specialist for a software company. So it was high school where I first had access to the internet, and as you remember, the whole dial-up era.
I used to stay on AIM. What?
Oh my fucking god! I lived on that.
It was a war of the away messages, man. What are you talking about?
Oh my god! I remember customizing my shit. I remember the backgrounds and the walls and like the emojis and oh my fucking god, yo. Okay, so oh man, so I had like the child lock, parent lock version of AOL, where like obviously my shit was like kid friendly and all the colors imaginable on this thing, but it was still fucking AIM, and I was still fucking with it.
AIM.
Oh man, I just remember.
Screen names. I had so many screen names, bro.
Oh man, mine was Joe Alb Snowman, some shit like that.
Huh.
Man, yeah. I was like
classic.
Joe, middle name, and Snowman was like some kind of weird nickname I got growing up.
Classic. I love it. So you start getting into the internet. So you spending most of your time on the net. You chatting, you're computing it up, and everything like that. Do you remember an individual? Did you have a counselor that set you up for success in college, or was this on your own?
So getting to college was kind of, I want to say, things just happened to. No, there wasn't any particular individual, I think, and I really had no plan per se. I kind of just knew that college was this thing and that it had been talked about, and that
so your mother wasn't pushing college for you at home like that?
Not pushing. I don't want to say my mom ever pushed anything really on us.
Okay, interesting. All right. And you know, as you already know, because you've seen the other episodes, that's very different from the other brothers who grew up in the households where their mothers or their parents was like, nah, college is mandatory. This is what you're going to do. You know what I mean?
I think it was just always assumed. I think we never even had the conversation, and I think that was, and I kind of figured I'm good at the school thing. Why not keep going? You know, I think that's kind of what happened there. So I'm in high school. I actually went to high school in two different places. So I guess it was in New York, and then that's when I moved to Georgia, moved to Atlanta. So New York was a chill experience. It was good. It was fine. Georgia was a whole nother fucking world, dog.
Wait. So you moved. Was it on your own that you moved to Georgia?
The
whole family came through?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, man. Why Georgia?
I was the last one. To move. I moved like a week before school started.
Why Georgia?
This was 2006. My mom bought a house out there down here. So she bought a house, moved, and then fucking Georgia schools and public school for the first time in maybe 10 plus years at this point. So in public schools, we got to wear regular clothes again, which I underestimated how hard that would be. Oh my fucking God.
Coming from uniform, right?
Fuck yes, god damn, son. Oh my God. Son, I remember I had to just change up my outfit. I started wearing church clothes to school.
Yeah, bro.
Church clothes to school, dog. Oh man. Yes, I remember that.
Wow.
Oh man, biggest thing about moving down here, white people, dog. Oh my God. So this is after 16 plus years in an environment where I think I saw white people maybe on the weekends.
I had the exact same experience. What you talking about is what I experienced as well. And I was just having a conversation with some students today about this. From 0 to 18, public school environment, melanated schools my whole life. The only exposure to white folks I had was my teachers. Not all of them, but a lot of them. And then I get to Lehigh, and you already know.
Mm-hmm.
You already know.
Your school's a very prestigious university, definitely, for sure. PWI, like a motherfucker.
What was your experience with that culture shock like?
Oh my God, bro! I was talking to my brother about it.
Culture shock is a thing, bro.
Yes,
that's a thing.
Yes, man. Yo, it was just good to hear that he had the same experience. I'm like, yes, that was the same way for me. I was like, fucking white people everywhere. Oh my God. But yeah, dog, it was like, I didn't know. This was like a whole nother strange interaction. Like, how do I don't know. I guess my only experience had been through media. And therefore, I guess I kind of had to ease my way in a sense, or figure that out. Fortunately and unfortunately, due to just how I guess America is, my lack of melanation in a sense kind of easily got my foot in the door, I want to say.
Yeah.
And that's something that I'm aware of. So yeah, that was just like, okay, let me figure out how they talk. Let me figure out how they walk. And then,
so you know what's curious about this for me? So you never figured out the way they talk and walk and their vibration while you was coming up in private school? You don't think being privately educated young, helped you out at all?
School of Colors, dog. Schools of color. This is also Honduras too, remember? So I'm going to school, private school in Honduras.
I got you.
And the instance where I was in public school, children of color as well.
Right. No doubt. Okay, I got you.
I think there was. I remember there being one white girl in my whole high school when I was at this private institution. Yeah.
Okay, I got you. So you navigating through Georgia. What is it, Georgia? What? What's the name of the school?
High school?
No, college now.
Okay. So college, Georgia College and State University in Milledgeville, Georgia. Shout out Millie Vegas.
Shout out to you, bro. Shout out to
a lot of pride for that place.
Bro, college is fun, bro. College is fun.
College, I guess counts now as formative years as well. So
Yeah,
I
yeah,
guess
no
so.
doubt.
I could say that.
How was the transition from coming over there, moving to Georgia, and then starting? Was it smooth for you, like going in? Like, were you scared? Like, you were like, damn, whole new state, whole new vibration. Like, what were your thoughts at the time?
Okay, so yeah, I'm still pretty new to the state. Yeah, man, this was the first time. I think I watched the episode where your brother had said he'd been to like boarding school. This is the first time I'd been away from home for a lengthy amount of time. This is like, yeah, on the way out, this was like me starting to fucking figure shit out. And that was a culture shock too. Like, fuck, oh my God. Another thing that I noticed about white people, and I love my friends and everything, but they felt like they had it so, not that they had it so easy, but they felt like they were prepared for this, you know? Like there was an air about them that just said that, okay, I'll figure this shit out, or I got this, or I don't know what it was, but it was just like that's just how it was for them, and it wasn't for me. It was like, how do I fucking do this shit, you know?
Right.
Like,
and you was left, were you left to your own devices to figure out how to do it?
Yes. My mom had only done an associate's program, and she'd done it in community college in New York. My stepfather at the time had also been through community college at the time. So this was me, the first person, the oldest of four to graduate, to go to college. Kind of the I guess maybe some of the pressure coming externally from there in that sense. Never, I guess, forced, but just being the first to do it kind of put some spotlight on me. And yeah, I had to just like figure this out. Like, oh, okay. So I go to class, and then I do what? And then I have all this time, and then what? And then, oh my goodness, I was just like, that's one thing that I suffered with tremendously. My first year of college is time management. Boy, when they preached that shit to me at that interest meeting, I was like, oh, y'all gonna make sure I go to class.
Time management is funny. Having a conversation with a couple of my students, and we had just finished reading The Great Gatsby, and I had never read The Great Gatsby before. This was my first time reading it. As I was reading it with my students, and you know, there was just a small part in the book, The Great Gatsby, where it talks about the protagonist's life schedule when he was like 16, that he had broken up his day by the hour. All right, 6 o'clock, wake up. 6 o'clock to 6:15, do some exercises. You know, 7 o'clock to 8 o'clock, this. You know, and he broke down his day like that, and I like that, bro. I like that. I like that form of time management when you can, you know, kind of break down your day hour by hour and you know, really make the most of your time on a daily basis. You know what I'm saying? Did you find yourself with all this free time and wasting a lot of it? Because I did.
Yes, for sure.
I did.
For sure, dog. Like I said, I was entirely unprepared for college. I just knew that it was something that I had to do, something that was the next step, something that was the next level of school. All right, I'm good up until high school. All right, let me see if I'm good at this next shit. And I learned the hard fucking way. I am not good at this shit. I took some L's first 2 years of college, and that took a blow to, I guess, you know, yeah, definitely my ego for sure. I was figuring shit out. Like, all right, let me figure out how to again manage my time. It wasn't until I will say, fortunately and thankfully to the organization, to this fraternity, that I kind of got myself in shape and recognized that I got to do better.
So perfect segue, right? Let's deal with that, right? So you in school, you fucking up your time management, you know what I mean? You live in the college life, the loose, free, carefree college life. Nobody's on your back. Nobody's telling you what to do. And how do you go from that to, all right, I'm gonna found this chapter? What's the, I'm gonna be a founding brother at this school of this Elysium chapter.
Yes, thank you for saying the name right. I appreciate that. You know how many times fucking shout out Raymond De La Torre pronounces that shit wrong every fucking time. And I'm pretty sure it's intentional at this point.
Yeah, right. He's probably just fucking with you.
He's also an educator, so shout out him.
Shout out to that brother.
I heard or came in contact with Lambda Sigma Upsilon Latino Fraternity Incorporated through my lovely line brother, Javier Becerra. So it was actually through another friend of ours, an administrator at the time, Javi. Shout out Javi Francisco. Shout out to that motherfucker right there.
Shout out to that brother.
No, he's not a brother. Might as well be motherfucking brother, dog. Son, this dude is a fucking. You talking about I guess what's the word? Formative individuals or individuals helping out or whatever. That's motherfucking Javi, dog. He's getting kids to college, dog, and from very young age. And oh my god, yeah. Shout out to Javi. He's the one who fucking got me to college.
Shout out to that man. Shout out to that man.
So shout out to Javi, Javi Francisco. So Javi introduced me to my Javi, and come to find out that me and Javi, my line brother now, Javier Becerra, went to the same high school.
All right, and you didn't know it.
The same high school, and I didn't know that he had gone to Georgia College, GCSU. But I did recognize him. I was like, oh shit, this motherfucker. I was like, oh yeah, you did go to my high school.
Yo, pause right there, bro. Now, how does this man put you on to LSU? How do you get put on to the org? Let's talk organization.
So Javier Francisco introduces me to Javier Becerra. We recognize we've known each other from high school, blah, blah. So Javi tells me this crazy idea of joining and starting a fraternity. How Javi got the idea from
at this point, did you know what a fraternity was? You was already aware of the concept of a frat?
Loosely, I think I'd seen Stomp the Yard. That was maybe like the first.
Yo, to this day, I haven't seen Stomp the Yard. Yeah. I gotta watch Stomp the Yard. Yeah, by the next episode, I'm gonna watch Stomp the Yard.
You don't need to watch it. I mean, it's all right. It's all right. Whatever. So I had just some brief idea. Again, just the movies, much like very many other brothers' experiences. Just the movies, known about the wild parties. I'd heard about some wild parties when I was in school there, and just like kind of like the mainstream white frats. And then had loosely come in contact with the MPHC orgs, and never really even had the intention, idea, or just gumption to join a fraternity. And not that I was turned off or anything. I was like, oh, that's for people over there, not for me, like I don't need that. That's just not for me. Come to find out that there are, and I hope that our organization is not unique, and I feel like that's the case. There are some organizations that just nurture and grow true brotherhood, and I feel like ours is one that definitely does that. And I witnessed that as an interest. Oh my God! Shout out to Manny De Jesus, I want to say. I want to say the Kill chapter. Manny De Jesus.
Y'all know that brother? Tag him. Tell him DM me.
Yeah. Because that was a brother I met from New York, and they showed me such love and hospitality, and that was pretty fucking great. And I saw that, witnessed that, and I was like, oh shit, this is something that I might want to do. And then the opportunity to start it, which was Javi, my line brother, hyped that up pretty good. He definitely sold that to us, and I was like, oh yeah, you're right. This is something we're gonna be the first, and it's gonna be something that's so great. And for as short-lived that it was, I gotta say it was great. So Javi introduces me, tells me this wild idea of joining a fraternity. I was like, yeah, fuck it, all right, let's. I wouldn't say I was entirely sold first right away. It wasn't until I'd met these brothers and they'd shown me the insides, just a peek. just a peek of the fraternity. So that's interest out there. If you are listening, watching, whatever, I think y'all should definitely take an opportunity to go on these brother trips and go on these brother excursions. If they ever invite you to shit, please, like, just come and witness, and you'll see that it's true. And that's what I did as an interest. So convinced me, like, this is actually a pretty cool organization. This is dope. Some dope ass people, some cool people. Let's fucking do it. Come spring semester of 2010, got my refund check, paid that shit. I was like, all right.
The refund check.
My soul.
The
my
refund
spring
check.
Break. The refund check. Everybody pays their dues.
Shout out to the refund check. God damn it. Love it.
Shout out to that refund check.
I love it.
Oh man. So yeah, came spring 2010. Shout out to that semester. Shout out to my line brothers.
Shout out to all the brothers from Spring 10 across all regions. Shout out to all sisters, all line sisters from region.
My dope ass line sisters. Oh man, some dope ass individuals. Good shit.
That's what's up.
So I actually went up to your chapter, spring 2010 when I was online. This is kind of how y'all came back down here, because there was like, in a sense, kind of, you know how we are as brothers as chapters, like, you show me your Emmy, I show you my Emmy. So it's dope shit. So
I got you.
So great opportunity in PA when I was online, in Jersey, New York. We went all over, man. This is as founders. This is some wild shit. And kind of the way they sold it to us, in a sense, was and I'm sure it's probably the same for you. It's like, this is some respect shit, and I think that proved to be true to this day. Not even so much respecting, but definitely respect, but also growth with some of the brothers that I've met along that journey, and the friendships and relationships that have been made just by simply visiting these individuals. Once,
just once.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It's powerful, bro.
It's pretty fucking amazing, I will say. It's an incredible experience, and I think we'll save this conversation for another day. But I think it's a beautiful process, and I think that I'm grateful for it, and I think it's definitely something that I hope that people recognize is not so much the process, but the growth, the process that happens after, the real pledging, as we say, the brotherhood. That is the most beautiful part of the whole thing. I think a brother of yours mentioned the other day where it's forfeiting 2 months. I wouldn't even say it's forfeiting. I would say learning and challenging yourself for 2 months. It's not so much forfeit. I would say challenging yourself to grow in ways that you didn't see possible before.
Right.
And I think that's something that the process has done for me, and the brotherhood has done for me. So I think that's pretty fucking dope. And I would hope that anyone would see that and want to be attracted to that, you know?
So what was it? So, okay, so you pledge and cross, and then what was it being a founding brother of a chapter? So you never had a line after you guys. It was you guys and done, right?
No, we did. We had several lines. We had
successful lines.
Yeah. Brothers that crossed.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Our chapter is growing.
I was under the impression it was just you and the other two founders, and that was it. Okay, I got you. So you did have more brothers that crossed. So what was it like for you as a founding brother then? Like, how did you kind of make the mark on that campus? Like, LSU is here. What were your plans? What was something you did?
It was some fucking dope shit, dog. We threw some of the dopest parties.
Yeah, no doubt.
Man, like, they would always ask about, when is LSU throwing another party? Yeah, we would like rent out bars and shit downtown. I don't even know how we pulled this shit off. But like, have people there to capacity and just like tear the shit up, and just like we had, which many of your chapter brothers may know, our other chapter, Kassid chapter at UGA, had Showdown, and Showdown was a big thing. So that's UGA thing, but at our school we had Clash. was Clash of the Titans, was a stroll, competition show, whatever. And we would invite different teams and different schools and campuses and orgs to come and compete and do that whole thing. And that brought a large crowd and a lot of brothers, sisters, Greeks in general. And therefore, we found a way to entertain them, and we did a fucking dope-ass job at it. So
dope, bro.
We were known as some good party throwers, but also at the same time, very, I want to say clean, whereas there wasn't very much conflict. There was a lot of interactions, and it was good, I want to say. I think that ultimately, I want to say it was a safe space for people of color. I think not so much that we provided that, but that was a kind of thing that we enabled and we nurtured by being a Latino fraternity and kind of having people from all over come and be a part of these things. Like our show competition, we invited orgs from different universities. At 1 year, we had an org, a music fraternity, win the competition. Oh man,
nice.
Those boys fucking strolled.
Nice.
Fucking stroll.
Shout out to them.
Mm-hmm. Shout out to Fami Alpha. Yeah.
Shout out to them. That's what's up. So you found the chapter. You throwing these events. You doing these parties. You have a couple of success. How many lines did you successful lines? Shout them out. Shout them out real quick. Shout out the Elysium chapter.
We had the Aeneas line, which was Stephen Graham, E1 Spring 2011, and we had the Andreas line, which is E1 Spring 2011. Shit, that was my kid. My bad, Stephen.
Shout out to that brother. It's all love.
Stephen, Andreas line, Spring 2011, Fall 2011.
Fall 11.
2011.
Fall 11 was my semester. Do I have LBs in your chapter?
I want to say yes. Yeah. Fuck, was this Tony Barajas, Fall 11?
Yeah, that's my brother. You know what I'm talking
Tony
about?
Barajas. Yeah.
That's Caudillo.
Yes.
My brother.
Shout
out to Tony,
Tony, dog.
Shout out to Tony.
Damn,
I just
brother,
reconnected
dog.
with him the other day on IG.
Son, that motherfucker. Oh. Bro.
Good dude, stand-up dude. So you going through all of this. The chapter's pretty successful. You guys are expanding now. And then so like as you move to the end of your college career, right? Are you looking back at your legacy? Are you hoping like, yo, I hope these young cats carry it on? Like, what are your thoughts on your way out of school?
I'm thinking get the fuck out of there, to be honest. And go do my shit. I think I was kind of I was for a very short while there, a brother who very many brothers know, and I was that brother who who would show up and not do very much shit for the chapter. So this was, I think, very early on. It wasn't until that we actually started forming an actual chapter, and this wasn't until I think Tony had crossed where we had kind of whipped ourselves into shape. So good, maybe for the first year, the growing pains of founding a chapter were very prevalent and very apparent in that regard, which I hope that we have done something to address in the years since, which I just founded a chapter 2 years ago, and I think that we've done a good job of adjusting that. So shout out Himalia's chapter.
Shout out to those brothers.
At this point, I'm just trying to get out of school. I'm kind of done with LSU. Quote unquote, you'll never be done with this organization, gentlemen. If you pledge this organization, you'll never be done with it. Remember that. I got out, went into the workforce, went into the work field, and just like let my chapter go by the wayside, to be honest. I'm sorry for kind of the position it's put us in now, obviously. But I do recognize I did play a part in that. Much love to my chapter brother Luis, who did a lot of the heavy lifting of running a chapter by himself for a long time.
Shout out to that brother.
We have a lot of solo man chapters, which we can't sustain.
Yeah.
Bad idea. Yeah. So
I got you. So where do you find yourself in life now, bro? What are you up to these days?
So presently, I touched on it a little bit earlier. I'm a software developer implementation specialist for an OMS specific package software company. The company being Futura. You know what I recognize, brother? I'm that friend where no one knows what I do for a living or job. They just know that I'm doing well, and it has something to do with computers.
Yeah, I got you.
So yeah, but yeah, that's kind of what I do for a living. I think it's great. It's fun. It's fine. I don't think honestly, and this is kind of why I have so much respect and so much love for you, my brother. I want to be a teacher when I grow up. I want to be a teacher. I want to educate. I want to I want to not necessarily be that individual that gets a kid to go to college, but be the individual that tells a kid that I see something in you.
And you know what, bro? You know, for that reason, that's what it's really about for me. Somebody asked me the other day, how do I measure my success as an educator? And I told them, I measure my success as an educator by when the parents of the kid is coming up to me and tell me, oh, my child comes home and talks about you. You know what I mean? When I can build a relationship on trust and the real conversations that I have with these middle school students that only want to be heard, that are only going through traumas at home.
Oh my God.
They don't know how to process. They don't know how to deal with it. So what you're saying, like, you know, like I see something in you, no doubt, bro. That's what it's about. I put the personal development of my students over a test score. Mm-hmm. That's my personal philosophy as an educator. Like, and that's just my truth, bro. Mm-hmm. It's just my truth. Like, I built too many real relationships with students already for that not to be true for me. Mm-hmm. Academic achievement is cool. I love showing that melanated students can attack the same curriculum that, you know, these non-melanated students can. Love that, but that's an ego thing. You know what I mean? Yes. For you know, on a deeper level, it's, you know, building these young people up, man, so that they could be healthy, functioning adults, bro. God damn, yes, bro. Yes. That's my personal thing, man. That's what I want to do when I grow up. That's what I want to do. So it's not that I don't get much fulfillment out of my job now. It's just that I've always wanted to be a teacher. Like I said, I had great teachers. My uncle's a teacher. My aunt's a teacher. And they've just always been pillars, in a sense, of achievement. My uncle got his master's degree. I think my aunt got her master's degree, and she was a principal at like some school in New York. And then, so in that regard, shout out to Tia Rue and Tia Heather and Caleb. Yeah. Shout out to the family. So shout out to your family members, and shout out to all of the family members, or all of the brothers in the organization that hold them down, man. Family is like, man, you know, you know, nothing compares to a solid family foundation, bro. Even if it's not your immediate family circumstance, you have extended family that you can go to, and that, you know, y'all share a bloodline. It's very valuable, bro. Very valuable. So those educators impacted me, and I've always just kind of wanted it. I think it sounds lame, but maybe even like a calling. Like I find myself at home in a teaching environment, in a teaching space. And I kind of do have that opportunity now in my present job, because I am an implementation specialist, meaning they send me to different places and different spaces to teach people how to use the software. I got you. And I'm doing a little bit more than that too. I'm interfacing and trying to not only sell myself, but sell the product, and do that. And therefore, I'm getting I'm scratching that teacher itch. You know what I mean? I got you. Yeah, I got you. But now it's itching a little bit harder. And I know that I just know I want to teach, bro. I just know I want to. Yeah. It'll line up for you, bro. It'll line up for you. There's lessons that you got to get from where you at right now that you're going to be able to transfer over into the classroom when you eventually make it there. You know what I'm saying? So it's a patient game, it's a visualization game, and it's just trusting in your life journey and your life path.
I think I'm gotta spend my life. I'm making strides to do so in the next year. So
Love it,
shout out.
bro. Love it.
Yeah.
Congratulations to you, bro. Listen, bro, I thank you so much for being on the show, for spending this. You know, it's been like an hour and a half already, maybe even a little more. We've
Shit.
been talking here for a while. Time has flown. Time has flown.
Damn.
And time is flying. You know, I'm recognizing a pattern here that when we get real, you know, when we get open and we start digging into these things, that time really does fly because, you know, this is not small talk that we're having.
Nah, bro, and I would love the opportunity to do this again. Maybe not so much for recording, but honestly, just to pick your brain about things, honestly, because I would love to just have, like I said, I've followed your content for a while, and I would love to have conversations with some of the things that you're posting, some of the things that you're talking about, and in that regard, maybe even just a phone call. So
no doubt, bro.
I would love to.
Listen. That's what this is about, bro. That's what this is about. I'm glad you said that live and direct on camera because you know what you just said, you know, again, is an example of the closeness that you can have with other brothers in the organization that you might not never have contacted before. But you know, we have more in common than we think we do.
Mm-hmm.
Overall, across the board. And with this series, Upstanding Upsilons, this is going to put that into the forefront, and it's going to change the consciousness of a lot of bros, and that's the goal.
Okay. All right. Good shit.
You understand what I'm saying? Any last words that you want to drop on the people? Any, you know, viewership? If you want to talk directly to the young freshmen watching this in the interest meeting, to older brother alumni from Spring '94 that's watching this right now, to the sisterhood. Shout out to the lovely Muse. I love the
shout out to my lovely sisters. I would like to say, just to brothers, man, just find time to, and this is something that I had to do, was find time to give back to the organization and recognize that there are, I don't want to say I just recognize that there's value here, and if not for yourself, for future generations. And so I think I say this in a sense that I think there's something there for everybody in all capacities, whether we be young neos, graduate, just figuring shit out, or older brothers who are coming back into the fold, whether it be monetarily, as active participants, active brothers, or in the role of mentor, like come back and talk to your chapter and you know, try to help, you know, when you can. But not only that, brothers, and this is to all of my brothers, present, active, future, go out and do. Simple as that. Go out and do, and I think you'll know what I'm talking about. I don't want to be a preacher or everything, but go. This organization has taught us very many things. We've been equipped with a lot of tools, and therefore we should go out and do. And I want to say do good, but I think I can leave it at that.
Love it, bro. Love it. Thank you so much for being on the show, Joe Coleman. Spring 10, Upstanding Upsilon. This brother's definitely an Upstanding Upsilon. There's no doubt about it. And, you know, I wish you much success on your life path, my brother, and in your journey. And, you know, this is one of many conversations between us. I'll probably call you like in a couple of days just so we could shoot the shit and build a little more. But
yo, bro, for real.
On the show, brother.
Yes, man. Thank you for your time, and thank you for doing this. Yo, I'm pretty sure whoever, all that you've done so well, the work that you've done so far is going to be appreciated, and it's fucking dope. So
no doubt.
Thank you.
Salute to you, my brother.
All right, man. Have a good night.
You too, bro.